Seton, what's the poll question you're going to go with today, at least for the first hour?
I think we got two of them here for you for the first hour from Paul.
Okay.
NFL franchise that feels least competitive year to year.
Is this recency bias here with the Arizona Cardinals?
A little bit. It's like a feel when you watch a team or a franchise year to year. They just feel like they're going to disappoint. And the Cardinals are possibly a 1 seed.
Okay. Yeah, they tend to find the banana peel. Now they've had some hot starts, where first half of the season, and then all of a sudden they cool off. Yes, Eaton.
I don't know if I agree about that on the Cardinals, because there's always a little bit of, man, if they could figure this out though. If Kyler Murray can figure this out, if they just get a superstar wide receiver, maybe they could figure that. There's always a little bit like, man, they're right there about being super competitive, and then it just doesn't work. They're not the Browns.
Would you rather be a Cardinal fan or a Browns fan?
Cardinals fan all day.
All right. Todd?
I think I'd rather be a Browns fan because you got the dog pound and people look genuinely passionate about their team. Arizona, you're in the sun, in the desert. I don't know. They took shots at the stadium. I don't really see that Arizona sports fan crazy passion that I'd want to be surrounded by at the stadium.
Well, sun and desert don't impact the game because
there's other things to do and you're enjoying the sunshine. You're kind of mellow. You don't hear about the crazy Arizona fans that much. But you do hear about the dog pound.
Marvin, Cardinal fan or Browns fan?
Rather be a Cardinals fan.
All right. Paul?
This is a tough one. The Cardinals have made the postseason 6 times in the past 40 years. That's a horrible percentage.
Yeah. I'd rather be a Browns fan.
I'm going to go Browns fan.
Yeah.
I think Fritzy had a point. They feel more into football.
Yeah, there's passion there.
As a franchise.
Yes.
Not the fan base.
I'm not big on,
I thought the whole point of this discussion that Todd just had was about the fan base.
I would say more so like the ownership. They're both bad ownerships, but the Cardinals have a history of, not investing.
Well, we keep waiting for Kyler Murray. I don't know what we're expecting to see. Marvin Harrison, Herbie was talking about this last night. This was a big topic, and rightfully so. This was a can't miss. Your dad's a Hall of Famer, and you look to be bigger and better and stronger and faster. And it hasn't happened. Now, his numbers his rookie year weren't bad, but he's supposed to be great. And he stopped on a route that led to an interception. He had a big drop. Now, he did have a really good touchdown reception, but you're supposed to have these things. You're supposed to be great. And maybe because you're at Ohio State, everything is open. Don't have to worry about hearing footsteps. But this is a standalone game, and I said this would be a topic and a topic after the game, depending on how well he played. A standalone game, and Marvin Harrison, maybe that's the first time you've seen him play. Talent's there. Kyler Murray, what did he get sacked 7 times last night, 6 times last night? I mean, and that's on the quarterback as well. That's not just the offensive line. That is quarterback trying to do maybe too much. You find a lot of these quarterbacks that's where it's kind of an optical illusion where, man, how did Caleb Williams get sacked 68 times? Isn't he athletic? Lamar Jackson got sacked, 7 times the other night? Well, they're trying to keep a play alive too long. And sometimes, that athleticism comes back to haunt you. But for the Cardinals in that division, because the Niners are undefeated. The Rams are going to be there in the playoffs. And Seattle's 3-1. So the margin for error, and you haven't beaten Seattle since 2021. But it's just not an inspiring franchise there. What's the other poll question, Seton?
The other one we got here is the Vikings letting Sam Darnold leave. Was the right decision at the time, or will come back to haunt them?
No, it's the right decision. We saw when you need Sam Darnold to be great, what happened those last 2 games of the regular season and postseason. Didn't go well. Do I think he's a bridge quarterback in Seattle? I do. And it might just be a 1-year deal. I mean, Jalen Milroe could be their starting quarterback. But I don't think there's – and Sam was drafted probably too high to go to a bad team when he went to the Jets. He had a really good career at USC. But, he got kicked around in a couple other spots. This isn't I didn't do well in one place, and now I go to another place, and now I have this epiphany. He had stops along the way. Do I think he's capable of leading them to the playoffs? I do. But I don't look at him the way I look at some of these other franchise quarterbacks. And it's probably, it says 3-year deal. It's really a 1-year deal. And I think the Vikings, they made that decision when they drafted J.J. McCarthy, that they were moving on from him, just like they moved on from Kirk Cousins. And they're all in on J.J. McCarthy. Now, unless J.J. McCarthy is going to be injury-prone his entire career, then Minnesota made the right decision. By all accounts, they made the right decision. And you get that rookie contract with J.J. McCarthy. He just has to stay healthy. Do I think he should be a better quarterback than Sam Darnold? Yes. But if Sam can kind of just not make mistakes, and last night was just, hey, just go out there, get a touchdown, a couple of touchdowns, no interceptions, and manage a game. That's all. So we'll get to your phone calls coming up. Here is this is one of those games last night where you didn't know who the coaches were, or you might not know who the coaches were. So when Jonathan Gannon is being interviewed at halftime and they're booing him, and he hung in there, and who was it who was doing the sideline?
Kaylee Hartung?
Yes. Hey, kudos to you because you brought up the boos that were happening in the moment there to the coach. They're booing. Wonderful. But Jonathan Gannon, and then Seattle's head coach is Mike McDonald. And Mike McDonald. And he talked about how the Seahawks executed late in the game to win.
For us, it was just like, all right, hey, look, we're identifying the 2-minute situation, and AD and the guys are talking to the guys on the bench, and they're ready to go to overtime. They're talking about our overtime plan. It was just kind of like, hey, what's next? Clint called some great plays. We had a great protection in that series. We were fortunate with the kick being, not in the landing zone, and then, Sam and Jax were just lights out, and just a great job overall. Brian did a great job of managing the clock, and that's just how we roll.
Okay. So that's Mike McDonald, not McDaniel, and Jonathan Gannon. Fritzy goes, Jonathan Gannon, was he a backup quarterback somewhere?
Yeah, I got confused with Rich. I have Mike McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and what's going on there?
Mike Glennon, Terry Gannon, I don't know what's going on here. But standalone game, and therefore everybody has an opinion on both of these teams from last night.